Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is Let Food Be Thy Medicine. Hurry back and join us. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is Let Food Be Thy Medicine. And we have in our studio a returning guest, LaKeta McCauley. Good morning, LaKeta.
Good morning, Marsha. How are you?
Fine. Good to have you back.
Great, thank you. It's great to be back.
Thank you. Now, last time you were here, we're actually in the kitchen doing something, preparing a nutritional meal, which is normally our role, light and easy cooking.
Yes.
So tell us, upgrade us now. We know we haven't seen you in a while. Give us an update of what's going on.
Well, we're still teaching people how to make very, very healthy meals that target specific health conditions. I am a naturopathic practitioner. I'm a nutrition consultant, and I work with people from all over the world who have health challenges and who want to use the power of food as medicine. And so I do a lot of seminars and workshops to teach people the power of food for health, for beauty, and for chronic disease.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So actually now we're stepping away from the kitchen today to talk about actually eating more healthy, and the name of the show is Let Food Be Thy Medicine, which also is a takeoff of your book.
Yes.
What is the name of your book?
The name of the book is Taking Every Bite Seriously. Let Food Be Thy Medicine.
Okay. So in taking every bite seriously, are you asking the viewers to look in more detail into what they're eating now instead of just consuming things all day long and saying, I'm full?
Well, taking every bite seriously is really a launching pad for people who are ready to transition their health. And so we have sections in there that tell you why it's important to take charge of your health and why it's important to eat certain types of food. And also in the back of the book, we have hundreds and hundreds of pages on the power of food for specific health challenges. So at any time you can just go to that portion of the book, and if you have diabetes, you can find a host of foods that will help you to build a nutritional plan for yourself to begin to transition your lifestyle.
Okay. So how long have you been in the business of, I'll say, are you a vegan first of all?
I am a raw vegan.
Raw
yes.
vegan, okay. And how long have you been a vegan?
About 7-8 years.
Okay. And then in your transition, did you actually just go straight through and stop eating the traditional foods that people eat every day, the snacks, the chips, the popness? Yeah. How did you transition yourself?
Well, I had some help with the transition. I had a diagnosis and began to want to take charge of my health through natural means. And so I met a young lady who told me about the power of food as medicine. And I got a set of meals from her and transitioned my lifestyle overnight. Okay. So there weren't things that I wanted to hold on to. I just wanted to be healthy.
Okay.
And wanted to lose weight. That was another thing as well.
Okay, well, you look excellent, my dear. Thank you. That's one thing we don't realize is that sometimes we do wait till there's a challenge or a change in our lives, and then we say, oh, I think I'm going to start today.
Yeah.
What would you say to families who are just starting out, young families, parents with small children?
Absolutely. There's a chapter in the book about being proactive as it relates to your health. And so with in terms of families or mothers and fathers who have children, we need to begin to learn how to prepare foods that will keep children engaged. So I prepare a great brownie and I use nuts and seeds. Sometimes if the child has an allergy to nuts, I'll use seeds, and we use cacao. And you can really learn to make foods that children can enjoy that can also be healthy for them. And that is the way that you get children to transition their lifestyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think that modern medicine physicians don't preach or offer this opportunity for us to eat better than what we have been before? I mean, do you think it's all about the money that, is created for all these fast foods and sweet things?
I think that money is always a catalyst for a lot of things. But traditionally, medical doctors don't have a lot of nutritional training in their background. And so what we're starting to see now is that medical doctors are seeing in their practice the power of food as medicine. And so you're seeing them begin to engage with their patients about how they can transition their lifestyles in terms of converting to a plant-based lifestyle as well. So it's what we as natural health practitioners have been doing for a long time, talking about the power of a plant-based diet and the power, its power against disease. And so it's good to see the medical community getting on board with wellness programs and integrative medicine so that we can really bring the two together and have promote optimal healing for patients, people who are sick.
Because I noticed lately a lot of people have their own urban gardens, and that's a wonderful thing. So is those urban gardens, are they really helping the families, you know, to eat better? Do you think that they're doing something with the urban gardens other than just growing your vegetables? What would be the concept for having your own garden?
Well, first thing, urban gardens are really promoting access. And so people who live in urban communities can now go to some of those gardens and partake of some of the food that is being grown naturally. So you're not having your food being transported, you know, hundreds and hundreds of miles and having the effects of that type of benefit. So I think that this transition, this move toward planting our own food is tremendous because we can avoid a lot of the pesticide residues that have been linked with a lot of adverse health conditions.
Okay, now that's great because I'm really impressed with seeing a lot of the neighborhood gardens come up, and I know a lot of people just can't wait till the weather gets warm to actually go into it, and then that actually helps. But a lot of times those of us who don't have access to urban gardens, the Eastern Market, places like that, do you actually go there and shop, or do you prefer to grow your own?
I personally prefer to grow my own because even when you do farmers markets, you want to really connect with vendors who are providing organic types of produce. And so in a lot of farmers markets, you have a lot of conventionally grown fruits and vegetables as well. So it's sort of, it's similar to going into a grocery store. You've got to be, you've got to have a watchful eye, and you've got to try to look for organic options. And always the best option is always to try to grow your own.
Now, how do you know one organic garden from the other?
How do you know one from another?
I mean, would you have to ask somebody, is this an organic garden?
Well, yeah. The growers would be able to tell you, you know, what they're using to fertilize the gardens and so forth. And so once you know what they're using, if they're using non-synthetic or chemicals that are not harmful to the body, those are the urban gardeners that you want to connect to. That are using, fish emulsion and a lot of very, very natural types of products in their gardens.
Because the pesticides actually are supposed to what? Just make sure that the bugs and stuff don't infect the fruit and vegetables. Is that the purpose of a pesticide?
Well, that's the purpose of it. Okay. They want to make sure that insects or pests don't eat the food. But what's happening with a lot of the pesticides that they're creating is that they're creating gastrointestinal problems and digestive issues for the pests, and that's how they're dying. But at the same time, now we're seeing a surge, if you will, in digestive issues among humans as well. So is there a correlation? We don't know, but if it's making the pests die and we are seeing an increase in a lot of digestive disorders, we want to be mindful about what's happening and the residues that are on that food. So always best, again, to plant what you know you can grow. And go to the urban gardens that are organic, and and also go wild. A lot of the foods that we have here today were picked, such as the mulberries and the muscadine grapes, and they have huge nutritional benefits.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a break, and ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to talk about some of these wonderful things you see here on the table that Marsha's going to sample. We'll be right back.
Over 1 million Americans at risk of foreclosure have been helped by making home affordable. Find out now what your options are.
Home where I belong.
And welcome back to the show. For those of you who are just not joining us, Let Food Be Thy Medicine. We're here with LaKeta McCauley. Now, LaKeta is going to fill us in some things, ladies and gentlemen, that you may not know about if you are in the process of trying to eat healthy or transition from going from a meat diet to a meatless diet. Let's ask LaKeta some questions. So I want to start off with, first of all, I see some wonderful fruit and vegetables here. Not too much vegetables, but some delectable fruit. Tell us a little bit about the fruit we're seeing.
Okay, absolutely. Remember in the last segment we talked about it's very, very important to get things that are wild, you know, so you've got apples that grow on trees, you've got pears that grow on trees, you've got mulberries that grow on trees, you've got peach trees, and you've got muscadine grapes. And so what we have here today are some muscadine grapes that we got from that were growing wild and we got from a grapevine. Also, there are also mulberries.
Okay, so these are mulberries.
Those are mulberries that grow from mulberry trees, and typically they grow in every neighborhood. And what happens is that we see them growing and people just walk by them every day, but they have tremendous powers for healing.
Okay. So these are mulberries.
Yes, absolutely.
These are muscadine.
Muscadine grapes.
And what do we have? Dates?
And those are dates. These are dates that are organic. That they're called medjool dates, and they're a rich source of iron and also potassium. So wonderful to help to sweeten certain things. I know the last time we met, we had a drink that needed a little sweetener.
That was the cucumber high blood pressure cucumber drink. I remember that.
And so what we want to do is, if you're going to add any sweeteners, don't let them be artificial. Why don't we add some dates? You can add very, very few dates, 1 or 2, and that'll be sweet enough for you.
Okay. Now, when you add a date, you can add a date to a juicer, a blender, and all that? You
can absolutely do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're making a smoothie, if you're juicing, you can do the same thing as well.
Okay.
Typically, it's going to be difficult to juice a date because you're not going to get any juice out of it. But when it goes across some of the mechanisms internally, it'll have a lot of the sugar or that is naturally occurring in it. So that when you bring forth the next item that you're going to juice, it will get the residue of that sweet taste and push it into the juice.
Oh, so I know that you're going to make a drink for me today. Will it have a date in it?
You may not need it because we're going to use coconut water.
Okay.
Okay.
So this now I know what this is. This is kale.
Absolutely. And this is kale that was grown from a garden. And so very, very tremendous, powerful. It's one of the highest source of antioxidants of any of the vegetables. And it's great. It has tremendous anti-cancer properties. It's great for eye health. It's just got really, really tremendous benefits. Vitamin K. So it's a natural, has a natural ability to thin blood if you need for your blood to be thinned as well.
Can you eat kale every day?
Oh, absolutely. You can eat kale every day. It's a good source of protein as well. So you want to get your greens, and you want to get those greens every day as well. So.
All right. And my favorite is blueberries.
Blueberries, wonderful. Yeah. Blueberries have so many phenolic compounds. They are just a tremendous benefit for health. You've got the power against triple negative breast cancer, which is a very, very aggressive form of breast cancer. And wild blueberries actually have the power to actually stop the progression of those types of cancer cells. There has been tremendous benefit with blueberries for eye health as well, and also against Alzheimer's dementia as well. So there are properties in the blueberries that actually help with memory loss and actually begin to repair some of the damage that has been done as a result of the disease. So.
And our common banana is used for what?
Bananas are typically going to be used to prevent diarrhea or to stop diarrhea.
Okay.
Also, they're a good source of potassium, so you can use them for high blood pressure as well. If you've got H. pylori or some sort of excessive stomach acid going on down there, you can use bananas as well to help with that. So huge benefits of the foods that are here, and that's why we brought them in, because we want to let people know that there are things that you can certainly find at the store, but there are also things that we pass every day that are very, very beneficial.
Now, I wanted to know, could you make a juice out of all these together, or are these combination things that somehow fit?
We can actually make smoothies, or we can make juices out of them. Today we're going to just make some drinks out of them, or smoothies, if you will, out of them. We're going to create a drink for diabetes. We're going to create an anti-aging drink with our berries and
anti-aging. Okay,
yes,
heard that over diabetes. Okay, quick question though. Now, would you recommend a person juice at least once a day or?
I recommend that people juice as often as they desire. Okay. I don't recommend that they build a life on juicing alone, because your body's designed to process food as well. But it's really, really
so early morning
for the
juice is good.
Oh, absolutely. Early morning juice. You can have a midday a juice as well. As long as we don't overdo them. We always want to have everything in moderation. But juices have tremendous benefits, and because they have been because they're liquid, they can really get to the cellular level.
I mean, I like
of the
juicing,
body.
so that I wanted to have our viewers be included in, you know, why people are starting to juice so often. But let's move on, because I know you've been holding that computer for a while, the laptop. So I wanted to ask you some questions. Our viewers see this wonderful screen back here, and in the event, tell us a little bit about your program. How is this?
Well, this is the Food as Medicine Digital Library, and it's over 3,000 pages of fruits, vegetables, herbs, nuts, seeds, and sea vegetables, and roots, grains, and sprouts as well. A lot of times when people want to choose a healthier lifestyle, they don't know what they should be eating, and especially if they want to deal with preventing certain health conditions or reversing certain health conditions or managing a chronic condition, they don't know what they should be eating. So if they enter a condition like diabetes,
all right,
into the search field, as you can see that I've done on that side of the screen, on the left side of the screen, and you press enter, it's going to search all of those 3,000 pages and bring you back only the evidence-based food. And we're talking about evidence-based, meaning the foods that have been documented by scientific researchers, doctors, food scientists from around the world on the power of that food. And so one of our results you're going to find is on our table today, and that's blueberries for diabetes. Blueberries contain a compound called chlorogenic acid, and they have the ability to actually lower blood sugar levels and just sort of regulate the blood glucose. So it's really, really great for type 2 diabetics as well. And so they're low glycemic. So today we'll pull together a drink that incorporates blueberries as well.
All right.
So
tell us something about like prostate cancer.
Oh, good. Well, let's go to prostate cancer. Again, I'm entering it in the search field. I press enter.
All right. So a person actually can look this up themselves. If they're into the program, they can actually just go to the page, go into the category of what's ailing them, find out what foods combinations would be useful for them to
Absolutely.
start.
And what's happening is that people talk about superfoods, and they talk about 5 superfoods or 10 superfoods, but there are more. There are hundreds of superfoods.
Okay.
And so what we want to do is identify enough foods to begin to transition your lifestyle so that you don't have to go back to a lot of those foods that cause the illness and cause the problems in the first place.
So cranberries is one of those?
So yeah, cranberries are really, really beneficial for prostate cancer. They actually keep those cancer cells, the prostate cancer cells, from multiplying, and these are studies that have been done that document this information as well. So you can also go to guava. I mean, guava contains a cancer-fighting compound called lycopene, and so it's a really, really powerful antioxidant, and it's known for protecting against prostate cancer in studies. So again, when you have enough information about the power of food, you can begin to pull together a tremendous program to prevent or to reverse or to manage prostate cancer. So
sounds wonderful.
Tremendous benefit.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take another break, and ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to be making a drink. We'll be right back.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks.
And welcome back. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very unique show. I mean, a lot of us are starting to eat more healthy, but we don't know what we're mixing, blending, juicing all together. And LaKeta McCauley is here today to give us a breakdown of what's what and how to do it properly. So sometimes you think, oh, I just had a strawberry banana smoothie. Well, what did it consist of to make you feel better, or did it combat any condition that you are actually involved in now? So if it's got a health crisis. So we want to ask LaKeta to go into a little bit more about the database and take us through a drink that she thinks will help us in one of these health conditions. So LaKeta, I didn't mean to rush off, but I want to ask you, how is your database developed? Where does the information actually come from?
Well, the information within the database is based on the research of hundreds of thousands, if you will, of researchers from around the country and around the world. So we've been able to compile all of this data into one evidence-based database so that people can very, very easily find the foods that they need to eat for any condition.
Okay.
And even if it's related to, beauty, somebody would like to do something with hair care or skin care or something like that, they can put that in the search field as well and identify foods that will optimize their
So
skin.
if a woman, say like a woman's hair is thinning or falling out, she can actually go into the database and put in lost hair.
Hair.
Okay,
hair loss or hair.
Okay.
And it'll bring back foods that are rich in silicon or silica like cucumbers and other types of foods, so that she can really begin to look at how she can begin to restore her hair. It'll bring back bananas, is what we have here, because bananas contain biotin. And so there are just a number of foods that you can pull together to identify how you need to transition your lifestyle as it relates to your goals, if you will, for health.
Okay. Now, what happens if a person has cravings? Is there a screen or a message for cravings? I mean, some people are trying their best to stop eating a lot of sugar and salt products, but they need to know something that they can utilize that will cut the cravings.
Absolutely. So you mentioned cravings. So one of the things we just did is I put in the word craving into the search field, and it brought me back persimmons. And so persimmons, as it relates to weight loss, they have the ability to reduce cravings. And so you definitely want to incorporate persimmons in a weight loss program as well. So another food that has the ability to reduce cravings would be celery as well. So it really goes and attacks the craving that we have for sugar. And so if you make a drink that is rich and that has a lot of celery in it, you can really attack those cravings. And you can certainly put in apple juice or something like that as well.
Because celery juice is not that great, I'm telling you. Okay.
But you can add the juice of an apple, and it'll optimize the flavor.
All right, that'll help me out there. I'm like, celery, okay. It's enough to eat it, but it's another thing, the juice that you're like, okay.
Yes,
Took it a little too far. Okay,
yes. So there are a number of foods that do that. What you can do is get a copy of my book, Taking Every Bite Seriously, and you can identify the foods that you can use to combat those cravings as well. So, absolutely.
So ideally, we want to give our viewers a chance today to see something being made with the selection that you brought in, and they understand that, okay, I can do this at home, and I can feel good, or I can always call us at 1-800-323-5336 and ask us a question about LaKeta McCauley and any other the cooking and nutritional people that you see. All right. So I want to start off with trying to get something done that people can actually identify with.
Yes.
Can we do that today?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got to make a drink. We'll be right back.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to energy-saving bulbs. Saving energy saves you money.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just not joining us, I want you to know that at the end of our show, LaKeta McCauley is going to make a drink for us. But before we get into that, if you have a show idea or if you need to email me for some particular reason because you want to tell me something, please give me a call at 1-800-323-5336, 1-800-323-5336, or email me, Marsha@justastalkshow.org, and Twitter, Just As Talk Show. But also, if you'd like to get in contact with LaKeta McCauley and have a question for her, send it to us. We'd be more than happy to forward your questions to her and make contact. So, LaKeta, before we end this, we want to go over a drink that you feel is something that's good for me in reference to the digital program you have here. So
absolutely.
Fill me in on what you're going to make.
Okay, what we're going to do is, you have high blood pressure, you told me. Correct. So what we're going to do is look at a drink that you could perhaps use that will actually regulate your blood pressure naturally. And so we're going to use the power of food as medicine, and we're going to use some of the foods that we brought in today to do that. So one of the things we talked about, or that we brought in today, are bananas. And so we want to, I'm going to go ahead and put those into the digital library, and it's going to go straight to our banana, and we'll find that bananas are very, very good for blood pressure because they are rich in potassium. And so potassium is very, very good to regulate blood pressure. And so we're going to take one of these bananas, and the amount, and you can eat as much food as you want. A lot of people want recipes for drinks and so forth. You balance it, we have recipes in the digital library, but you balance it based on, how much you're trying to make for yourself, okay? And a lot of it's trial and error, and you'll find the consistency and the taste that you desire as well. So before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and open.
There's no real measurement as far as like when you're making a drink.
You can do maybe a half cup of half a banana, okay? And then we're going to do the blueberries, and blueberries are very, very good as well because they for high blood pressure, because they have the ability.
I like them both, so I'm just asking for me. Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, they have the ability to relax arteries and to thereby lower blood pressure. And also, we're going to incorporate potassium in our drink as well. Again, potassium is dates. In our drink because they contain potassium, and again, potassium is a very, very rich source of potassium found in dates.
All right.
So let me go ahead. This is a young Thai coconut. Young Thai coconuts as well are rich in potassium. So they're going to really, really go a long way toward helping you with blood pressure. And they're also going to serve as the base for our drink today as well. So we've already taken the top of this, of the coconut off.
Okay.
And we've got the nut of the coconut exposed. And now we're going to go ahead and open that up.
Okay.
Just hit the back and pop it open. Very, very
Kinda had
easy
it on
to
the
do
floor,
that.
running around. Okay.
Oh, no, we don't need to do that. We're going to go ahead and pour it in.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's coconut water.
Absolutely.
All right.
And typically, let's see, and now we talked about our blueberries. So we talked about our banana, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and add half banana.
Coconut water. Okay. And this is firm. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and add our bananas. Okay, and now the other item that we talked about was blueberries. And we talked about the fact that blueberries have the ability to actually relax those blood vessels. So we're going to go ahead and search blueberry.
I know the coconut water smells good.
Oh, it smells absolutely fabulous, and it's very, very good for you to prevent atherosclerosis as well. So you definitely want to incorporate that as well. So now we are at blueberries, and here it is for blood pressure, as you can see on the screen. So there was a study done in a journal called Food and Nutrition. It was the May 2011 journal that talked about the ability of blueberries to relax blood vessels and also to regulate and lower blood pressure. Okay. So what we're going to do is go ahead. This is about a half cup maybe. So we're going to go ahead and put a half cup in here because both of us are going to try to enjoy this drink.
All right.
Okay, so we've got a half cup there of blueberries. Now, we talked about dates, and I was trying to talk about the potassium content in dates earlier, and I just got to running through there. But again, rich in potassium. Again, potassium is good to do what? To lower and regulate blood pressure. So we're going to put, and also we talked earlier about the fact that potassium will allow you to sweeten your drink as well.
Right.
So we're just going to put, we don't want to over sweeten it, so we're just going to put two dates in there because dates are very, 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 very sweet.
All right.
So now we've got the base of our drink.
Oh, wow.
Oh, excuse me. Had a little bit of leftover coconut water there. So we're going to go ahead and blend this all together. And we're going to come up with just a fabulous drink for you. Let's do this right here. Okay, great. And we're going to go ahead and get you a sample of this wonderful drink.
So that was blueberries, banana, and coconut water.
That was
dates.
blueberries, bananas, and dates.
Okay, sorry.
And coconut water as your base.
Right.
And we don't, for me, I don't recommend using coconut water from a box because you're talking about a lot of added food additives to sort of maintain the shelf life and all of that. So you want to have your coconuts just very, very natural.
Okay, it looks good.
Okay,
So
wonderful.
everybody knows me. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I have straw.
Wonderful.
Okay, it's good.
How do you like it? Now, as a drink to control, to regulate and control blood pressure, that's a good drink.
That is good.
Very, very tasty.
So once again, so that was banana.
Bananas, absolutely. Potassium in the bananas. We're talking potassium in the dates. And also we're talking about some phenolic compounds in the blueberries that have that ability to relax those vessels. So very, 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 very good drink.
All right.
Okay, awesome. I think I'll join you here.
Please do.
Yes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I know we try to incorporate as many health shows as possible for you to understand that what do we say? Take every bite seriously.
Yes.
So this is what we're talking about, take every bite seriously. Now, you may not be a juicer, you may not be a smoothie maker and this and that, but people like you see LaKeta McCauley who come on our show and give us some tips on how to transition from everyday starchy, sugary, salty foods. You may want to go to our website, take a look at some of the recipes we have here. And LaKeta, can we have this recipe on our website?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We'll get that for you.
Okay. So we do want to ask you to come back. Would you do that for us?
Oh, absolutely. Would love to.
And you know what? I had one comment. She has the most beautiful hair, and I wanted to ask you, Do you have anything in your hair, or what is your natural treatment?
Everything I put in my hair is natural. My hair is very, very long. I have to cut it in order to manage it. Keep it
Well,
off.
I must admit you're a pillar of health, and we're glad
Thank
to have you
you.
join us.
Thank you
okay?
so much.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, we have to have LaKeta come back, and if you are a person that is in nutritional programming or something about healthy eating, remember our motto is less than 30 minutes, low in cholesterol, low in calories, diabetic friendly, with great taste, all in 30 minutes or less. I'm your host, Marsha Florence, for Just Ask, and what do I always say? If you know someone with a disability, or if you just have a general question, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask. I'm your host. Thank you.